inside his zone. There's not a player in sight. Clix is still alive now, working his way through. He has lost his teammate. The full finish comes through. It might be all or nothing now. He still has so much left in the tank.
Yeah, but I'm not too worried about him because of him and Duke's high placement last FNCS was because of solo clutches from that man himself. But talk about solos. Joe gets one as Andy goes down. Shots coming in from the high ground. Pressure is there, but Joe's trying to find his way to the front side of zone, but it's a hard journey trying to find it. 12 HP, continuing to drop. Shots still coming in. He's going to find a moment of an oasis to try to stabilize and figure out what's the next play.
Cammy and Seti find their way to the high ground. Down goes Clix to the hands of Cammy. That's a huge one. Hello, Vino. You have to turn and run. Cammy wants to hear nothing about that noise right there. Meanwhile, Seti's keeping eyes on the general area. Very solid. Chicho fighting his way, but no. An edit comes through. It's Zagu and Mareem, who's right above them there. Our FNCS champions of Asia are still here. Down goes Pamstu as well. What a huge elimination here.
The top 7 duos alive. 11 players total left in this game. One of them being Seti and Cammy towards the high ground. The analyst desk called it. These guys don't play too many early game fights. They wait for this end game and for every opportunity. But Acorn, he's trying to sneak some extra points. He has the Medmiss sitting in the zone. Vino doing the same, but he's almost all out of opportunity.
This is absolutely what you expect of the best players in the world coming together for this invitational here, to have this opportunity to step up to the plate, represent for your region. This is what it's all about. Vino by himself, just working his way, ratting his way through the build. Acorn is as well. There's a set of major points separating them. Vino looks to high ground. He says, I'm not going to allow you to just sit there and focus me. Trulex is meanwhile in the low, looking for something to do here, turning builds into Chrome. Remember, he can slip through any one of these now. He's becoming desperate.
He's just trying to reinforce a little bit of the builds that are around him so nobody can quickly edit through and try to pick that shot from Miram and Zagu. They don't have that high ground, but they have that mid layer trying to find that comfortability. Brino, only 2 HP, no Medmiss left. He's gonna have to try to find a siphon here, but no, he gets dropped. Acorn finds another one from the outside of zone.
7 elims for Mareem and Zagu, representing for Asia here, looking great. Meanwhile, Yumi and Cool are getting one step closer now to taking this fight. A huge shot out to Mareem. He's gonna feel that one as he plays defensively, but Zagu is here to back him up. They're going hand in hand. The fight breaks out. They clap back. Down.
Oh my gosh!
Cool steps up to the plate. We are now down to 3 duos in the end game, 2 solos and a duo up top.
Carrying that momentum from last season's FNCS, but he has so much more work to do. Seti and Cammy, the only duo left in the game is Acorn staying alive. Still 4 eliminations on the back of Cool, trying to find his way through. But like I said, there's only 1 duo team, and they have the high ground and the recipe for success.
You cannot write a better story for becoming legends. Seti is fighting back. Cammy is fighting back. They're looking to get inside. There goes the elim they were looking for. Just 1 player separates them, but Acorn will not survive. And Seti and Cammy take game number 1.
Poland is the first country to take home a victory royale on the FNCS Invitational stage.
Really taking a turn here for the worst for most. Reed's gonna get burned and turned back to the lobby there as he falls, but that's still well inside the top 20. Meanwhile, Vino on high ground, looking very comfortable, no resistance. Larson and Smite are making up for where they left off. They may have not earned a huge game 1, but a great game 2, and now Miro and Booga are fighting back.
Yeah, 2 of the big NA West powerhouses going down. They're trying to get that elimination, but Booga and Miro, huge shots gonna be fired, but Miro's getting tagged back up. He needs that siphon to go through, but it's still not gonna be enough. PH then does go down. Booga trying to be that IGL. He's trying to lead him to greener pastures, but he's running out of resources. Backwood falls. High ground though. Does Vino and Queasy still have that position onto the high ground as Smart and Lawson? They're not ultimate low, but they found themselves that perfect middle layer.
And you'll notice Booga is now left by himself. KBR finds his teammate Smite and Larson on the ultimate low. Hen and Vortex front side firing back and on height. Vino and Queasy are looking like this is a fairy tale game for EU once again, but we'll see if NA can step up to the damage. Let's see it. Hen is going to be punished and now hunted down. Smite doesn't find the full elim here, but my gosh, already at 6 eliminations. Meanwhile, we jump over. Sensen and Cole still alive here. This is where they do best. Like we said before, it's bread and butter. They know how to stick hit to hip. They have to now. Cole is hurt.
Multiple top placings out of this duo. Not wanting to fall short here today, but Cammy and Seti from high ground to low ground. Another end game is going to be achieved. True Lex gets dropped. Smite's going to go ahead and lend that helping hand, trying to steal away all of that loot, but the zone is just immediately chunking him out. 4 HP and a dream for Smite.
And a huge end game right now in front of Smite here at top 5. Unlocks before him. Cammy goes down, Seti goes down, and it is all his here. And now he fights back, but the zone does the rest. Great game there, but Vortex is now by himself. What can he do? Cole and Sentin now have the high ground. They have turned the story around.
I don't know how they stole it away, but Kitos is solo as well. High ground versus low ground, but it's a 2v2. Sentin and Cold versus Vortexers and Hen. This is going to come down to the wire monster, and this is going to come down to Sentin and Cold when and where they drop down low.
Once again, we are looking at an NA versus EU finish. Cold is going to get big tagged there by Vortex in the low ground. 7 elims, no builds. It's looking very, very tough, and it's the same story for Hen as well. It's all or nothing. Can they find something here? But Sentin and Cold, although they have the height, they are also running extremely low on resources. But if there's a team that can do it, it is them.
Yeah, you see them trying to go back outside of zone, trying to find anything to work with in terms of Hen and Vortex. Sentin and Cold, we talked about, it's up to them when and where they drop down low. The game is definitely in their hands. They just have to close it out. EU versus NA East. This one is just a prolonged long game, but the damage is in from Cold.
And this is what we talked about. That wall, there's nothing you can do. It's all or nothing. Down goes Cole. Sentin's hurt too, but they have the angle. They're going to wait this one out just for a little bit and allow the zone to do the rest. Cole finds the one, and Sentin finds the other. And A takes game number 2.
You look at that. The passion, the emotion coming out of Sentin and Cold. A team from NA East. Honestly, I don't think they got the right respect coming into this event because of what happened to them last season.
That's right. 3 elims.
Booga starts low downs. He had all the mats to hold on to that high ground with 7 moving zone, even if it's contested. Reason A and Aqua trying to fight for it, but they're going to get stuffed. They're going to get shut down for now, and you can see the pressure from Joe and Z Andy. They're looking towards the backside of zone, and they're putting shots on players who are suffering the storm surge.
Oh, he goes for the low pad. Aqua wants to get down to the low ground here. No reason to play for the builds. He doesn't have enough to make it. Is reason behind him is the real question. Meanwhile, another end game for Kitos and PH Zin. They have 4 elims representing for Brazil right now, and they are almost inching their way to the top 10 right now, but Cold and Sentin are right in front of them. This is where they do the most work. This is where they play best.
Yeah, they're just recycling a lot of those builds towards the low ground. Trippin trying to take that cheeky shot to the backside of zone. Elevation up. Thomas HD probably leading the charge, making sure that these guys are on the same page through and through. Booga backside of zone. 2 men miss. He's just trying to go ahead and stagger himself out, and he found an elimination on the Jew. More HP for him, and look at the resources he found.
And it's huge right now. He is managing to fight his way through. He finds another one there in the zone. A huge tag is going to keep him alive right now. And look at him start to sprint here. But no, he's hunted down and taken out back by Thomas HD. And all of a sudden now Thomas has all the extra refreshes here, but he's starting to run out. Is he going to go for low ground, or is he going to continue to hold out here? Reason has a decision to make as well. Off to the side he goes. This player's in front. Cold is down. We saw that exchange. It's a big one.
Yep, he's just trying to stay alive. Reason's doing a good job staying ahead of zone. And now he just has to med stuff to find a way to stabilize. It's Thomas HD. He's trying to stagger himself towards the backside of zone, running out of sticks onto that med. A huge shot's going to be fired. Thomas HD is trying to stay alive, but he goes down. Zagu from Asia strikes again.
It's just not enough. Zagu says, I am here to play and put some respect on us. Sentin is going to fall to EU Scram. And again, Zagu is now by himself. Chrome Splash comes out. He finds his teammate. Does he get the save? Now this is what you want to see. A big save here in the ultimate low could change the entire story.
This could be huge for Asia. This could be huge for Zagu and Miram. But Joe and Ziani, they have the high ground.
Oh no.
He wasn't able to get the revive off. This is going to be huge. He's the only solo left in the world of duos.
Oh no, but he knows that's enemy build. He goes up, the side jump. He has enough. He takes high ground, but no. Ziani's here to back him up. He goes for the falling shot, doesn't quite find it. Chimp and Scram, Healed is going down, and they are having an opportunity here, but no. Chimp does not cannot take advantage. He is now by himself. He has lost his teammate. Can he find a steal of points here? He's looking for it. Zagu jumps to the ultimate low. Jim's trying to time his exit, and he gets caught out, and down he goes. Z, Andy, and Joe now have 8 eliminations and a win set up potentially in front of them.
Yeah, 2v1 situation, EU versus Asia, and for Zagu, this man has the world on his shoulders, just a sliver of HP, a little bit of shield, and it's not going to be enough. Joe and Z, Andy take game number 3.
EU claps back once again and takes game 3 with the big win finish there. But what a performance for coming into an end game. But Cammy and Seti are here in the mid ground. PHC and Kitos are there as well. This is one of the most dangerous layers that we have seen, and it's players who are fighting to get that #1 spot.
Oh, it's scented. He was able to take down Thor, but he needs that siphon to come through, and it goes in just in the nick of time. Trying to stay alive. Chili Chug Splash to try to go ahead and gain the speed to get to the outside of zone. Somehow Anas is down. You got to thank Commandment Avery for that one. So now Pink is left as a solo. What can he do with only 3 builds to his name?
And they take high ground again in this game here. 4 elims now. Things are really starting to get interesting for NAEs. Avery says, come down. Let's go to the low ground and wait for him to start taking the lead here. Now, usually we call Commandment the Mr. Clutch, and Commandment says, trust in me. I have this high ground on lock. Meet me at the top.
Yep, for one of the most insane end game finishes for the FNCS Chapter 3 Season 3 Championship. They're looking to do it here again in this game as Malabuka's by himself. He ends up into the box, takes another player out, a huge siphon and refresh to come through just in the nick of time. That was Ed from Brazil who went down, but he's doing a good job. Malabuka immediately beelining to the front side of zone.
And back to Pink here. Look at Pink's perspective. He's on that low with 7 elims. He has not stopped picking up. Malabuka continues to fight though. Tree is gonna fall there, and a quick elim. Someone's behind him though. Now he turns around, and it's just enemy territory everywhere. Which way are you gonna go, son? That's the zone. Larson and Smite are still alive. This is where they do the most work, but no, it's not enough. They get wiped up and taken out.
Shot missed. Duke clicks, take advantage in the blink of an eye. Another end game. They're trying to move up to the top leaderboards as Thomas HD goes down. Trippin feeling the pressure as a solo here. Changing elevation. That was a huge play because look how many teams are stuck down low towards the low ground, but now he has to meet him down there as Commandment Avery begin to put on the pressure. Malabuka, 4 eliminations as a solo, 6 as a team. The damage continues, and he's putting on a show.
He doesn't stop. Down goes Rifty. 5 elims. Can he get another? No, it's not enough. Trifford fights back. He's got it in him. And now, look at this. Behind the walls, BL and Edgy from the Storm. BL is still in this. It's Seti who's representing on this low ground. Another huge, consistent game for Seti is everything here.
I think there's 5 duos left, and about maybe 3 of them are full duos right now, and Savage loses another one. He's a solo. He's trying to take down the NA West team. He takes down Yumi. Huge siphon coming through. Mr. Savage does it again and gets into the top 4.
You have to love the movement here.
Oh my God!
Another one. He does not stop. Seti might just be next. Savage is on fire. Let's see it. High ground is still NA East. 1v1v2. Commandment and Avery have everything working for them as Savage is looking to do so much work. But Seti says, hold up, I could find a chance here. He needs to pick and choose this wisely. Do you go for 2 elims on the low ground or a chance at first? And down goes Savage. Seti knows better, and it's a great game for Commandment and Avery.
A huge victory royale and a huge boost for the NA East champions of Chapter 3 Season 3. Commandment and Avery switched though. They called it's going to start at the drop spot of Grim Gables. They take out Muzz and Looter and they keep things going. Repscar peaks at the right time. Finds the shots on the cool. Another elimination going over. And this could be a moment for him to remember for the rest of his days if he can continue to clutch up big like that as Joe and Z Andy trying to be the first team on the day to win 2 victory royales.
And Smite and Larson are still in the game as well. Vino and Queasy have the high ground. Queasy manages to crank his way on up, and that is what you call a well-executed launch pad play there to keep them in the run here, but there's still more points that they have to close out. Here goes Smite. He's gonna go for the pad play. Z, Andy, and Joe get to the front side of zone now, and they rotate their way on out as well, and this is coming back off, way off the height. This is such a tough in just honestly difficult zone to play.
The Epic Games Fortnite roller coaster continues yet again.
Gosh.
Down the mountain, up the mountain. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a loop-de-loop come through as Rep Guard's trying to catch one off guard, but it's he who gets caught off guard by Z-Andy.
And just like that, he is down and out. Trippin and Thomas HD, we get to get a little temperature check with them. They are on the mid-ground, right above Scented and Cold. Smite loses Larson on the rotate, and he is now left by himself. Just places away from 10th here. Can he hold on? Peppo does enough, but not enough to beat Vortexter. Here's Onwin and Baka. They had made such an excellent use of surviving their drop spot. Joe finds Noah. Down he goes, and Joe's hurt. 20 HP. This is not looking good.
Quick moving, quick thinking, trying to get out, but he gets caught in the tail end. It's Queasy and Vino. Zone after zone after zone. No matter where this roller coaster went, they stayed on top. Baka loses Onwin, but he takes down Fast. Back up against the wall. He gets 2. Baka gets 2. 7 eliminations for the NA West
And he
duo.
has shown you how good he is and why he deserves to be here. Even when he is counted out, he is showing up. But hold up, Scented, Cold now, back in the mix here. They already have done one, but can they get another? But Grolls and Rifty are showing they finally have an end game, and they are making big do with it. There's a third Elim, 30 points already earned in this round. Baka fights back, but Cold and Scented get to get all that sweet loot.
Yep, towards the low ground, along with Thomas HD and Trippram. This one is going to get messy for everybody that's stuck down low. But for Vino and Queasy, they have the elevation. They have a huge advantage. Plenty of mats to work with. That's a recipe for success. But it's up to Cold and Scented and a few other teams to try to take down the high ground team.
And don't forget, Trippert and Thomas, who had a 10-point lead, is still here as well. Thomas HD wants more though. Down goes Grolls, and they are closing the gap. But he loses teammate. He's gonna fall. Top 3 now. Scented is still in the mix here, in the conversation, but no build. Big shot comes in from up top. And all of a sudden now, it is looking so dicey. Queasy is just waiting.
Waiting for that perfect opportunity. They have the high ground. They drop down low. The game is theirs after they take down Bevy. That is game number 5, sealed up by Vino and Queasy.
And the biggest game we've seen so far in terms of elims, coupled with a victory royale. Huge 11-piece.
In the wrong direction. He goes down. He goes out. But Queasy and Vino are trying to go up. They're trying to take the game by storm, and they get it, Monster. They got the high ground for now.
But it's not for free. They do have a duo on their heels. Who is it? It's Restguard, who tried to fight for it, but he is not going to be successful this time around. High ground can get you one thing that we know for sure, and that's amazing placement if you can ride it out. When you're a solo like that, that was an excellent attempt. But now, back into the heat of things. Seti, Cammy, 2 elims, another end game. And their biggest threat, Tripper and Thomas HD is alive. Acorn and Edgy, NA East's last hope potentially in this lobby, still in the run.
Saw threats go down to the bottom half of the map. That's Trulex and Chicho take him down. Kanata falls as well. Ed's gonna get one. Queasy Vino trying to go ahead and put themselves outward so they can continue that damage. Seats a solo, stuck in the outside of zone. 4 floppers to work with. The Siphon comes through onto Ed. This is an opportunity for him to pick out placement points while being outside of the zone.
Not only that, Clicks is still alive too, but here's Tayson. Tayson's gonna fall inside the storm now. It's up to Acorn and Edgy, making their way out the outskirts here. Look at the clean rotate here from Acorn. He is just exceptional, but we get to jump into Duke. 200 HP, now down to 72, make it less than that. It's not looking good. From 0 to hero, he's trying to claw his way into this. They find a player on the edge. No Elim there. Duke has to fight back, and down he goes, and it is all over. And once again, we might be seeing our first team who is setting up for a back-to-back.
Back-to-back, that is going to leave them with all the confidence in the world to end day 1 and go into day 2. They have 10 eliminations on Fico from the low ground. He's trying to have a comeback for the ages to close out day number 1. Shots on the Tripram, a huge amount of damage. He drops him down as well, but goes down altogether. Valiant effort by Fico.
It is a worst-case scenario for Thomas HD because his biggest threat is on high ground, but Reet is fighting back. Reet takes down Queasy on height. He is turning this around and trying to turn this into potentially a solo game. Meanwhile, Thomas finds Watts. Thomas still alive, and Reet falls there in the end. Look at Thomas holding the low ground. Chicho's right next to him. Trulix hurts him too, but Vino has the grip of height. Acorn waiting on the side, out of builds. He's gonna have to come down too. It's all over. The gas tank is empty. Down he goes. And now off to Seti.
It's Cammy and Seti, the only duo left, and they find another one. Vino trying to put wonders. 1v2 situation. What can he do here to take home the big prize and end with back-to-back victory royales to end the day? But a team looking to take first place back. Cammy and Seti, and they try to steal it away by getting that VR to end game 6.
And they get the first game. They get the last game of day 1. What a story for Cammy and Seti. Becoming Legends must be so proud right now of these players. They put in the hard work, they put in the effort, and wait to watch it pay off.
That is huge for them because they're not like a lot of these other teams who are consistently fighting to get to the top of the leaderboard. They play their play style through and through, from the drop spot all the way to the end game. They're one of the
Keep in mind, this is only day 1. The first 6 games, we might have found a conclusion for our top 10 leaderboard today, but tomorrow could be a different story altogether. A lot of these players have already talked about the fact they want to basically run it back with the VOD reviews, see where they can try and correct some of the mistakes or just moments that didn't necessarily go their way earlier on. But I do have to give it to EU. They kind of ruined the pattern for today because we had, for every single game today, EU, NA, EU, NA, and then EU, EU for the Victory Royale finishes.
Look, they did a great job, but I'm also impressed on how every region performed, right? 7 regions competing today, and we saw some nice shows.